Tavam kathamritam tapta jivanam kavibhiritam kalpashamaham Sravanamangalam Srimadatam Bhuvi Krinanti Ye Burida Janaha. O Lord, your gospel is like nectar and bliss showered upon the pain-stricken lives of suffering humanity. It dispels all the sins and misdeeds of life. It brings spiritual welfare in life. The spiritual beauty, prosperity and grace spreads through and through one who listens to your holy message. They are the real givers in the world who can preach and pronounce the nectar of your holy message to the suffering humanity. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om peace, peace, peace. So, we are back to the reading of the Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna, page 83, where Master and Disciple is the chapter. And then, today the date is not mentioned yet. It was Sunday afternoon when M came on his third visit to the Master. So that is the third visit, so that date is not exactly noted down probably. And then he had been profoundly impressed by his first two visits to this wonderful man. He had been thinking of the Master constantly and of the utterly simple way he explains the deep truths of the spiritual life. Never before had he met such a man. So it is his Master Mahasaya is talking about Ramakrishna, how he was impressed and how he meant to him. On the third visit itself, he felt a tremendous attraction to come to Sri Ramakrishna. And why? Because such a spiritual person, one point, another, and constantly he has been thinking because he is simple. Ramakrishna, so simple, so unassuming. And he is explaining the truths in such a simple language. You know, this is very important point. Who can easily, simply explain one thing? He is a master of one subject, suppose. A physics professor can teach his subject. If he is teaching for a long time, profession, he becomes so expert, he explains it very clearly. We remember there was one great professor, J.B.S. Holden, the biologist, the botanist of that time, very famous person in that field, and his student. He has a PhD and big professional career, is to come and give us the talks on his subject was biology, probably biology. And we are bored with that biology class. And another person came, he was a chemistry professor, and he was such joyfully, cheerfully, and as soon as he comes, every class is enthused with his class, and he makes it so easy, simple, that we feel, my God, chemistry is so a subject of easy subject. But he makes the complicated subject easy because he has mastered the subject himself. As much as one's mastery, so much he can talk about that very simply. As much you have not understand, that much is the complicated sentences. You read two parallel books. One book of Ramakrishna Gospel, one side, talking about spiritual life. And read another, a highly scholastic person of Harvard or some big name professor. On the same topic, read two articles side by side, you will feel the difference. The one will reel your head what they are talking about because you don't understand those languages. High, bombastic language, and new usage of the words and vocabulary, which will, oh my God, what? Everyone, scholarly level, they have their own term. He coined one term, and that coined term will be carried by everyone. That is what is called, that is the contemporary style of talking. And then, and you read Ramakrishna talking the same old simple thing, how it is. So only this is the thing that one who have experienced the truth, if he speaks, it has become very simple. Tulsidas ji, Ramcharitmanas, read the Ramcharitmanas. Rama's life and his teachings, no? What is sweetness, what is knowledge, what wisdom, what love, what devotion blended together. And parallelly, if you see the another Rama's life, many people may have written and their research work is there. It will be hard to probe into it. So that what makes the difference is who has experienced that. Holy Mother used to say, Sri Ramakrishna was a person, তিনি ছিলেন দেখা পুরুষ. দেখা পুরুষ মানে he was a person who have seen God. That's really what he says. It becomes simple because you have seen something and you describe how easy it will be. Suppose you are coming and you saw an accident and now you describe. And now someone comes from the high helicopter focusing light here and there and this way, that way, getting to know what is happening and describes. There may be little plus minus this way, that way. But when you have seen yourself, your description is more spontaneous and easy. So this is the same about God realization. And when one speaks from the heart like that, it touches the heart. See, Swami Vivekananda lectured. Once anyone listened to Vivekananda, it has strung the chord of their heart, no? And they could not forget that guy. How many people remembered Ram Vivekananda because of his just seeing one time? Because there is a tremendous expression of his own realization, his realized soul. So that it makes, and the topics. Say, Aurobindo was a great scholar, great yogi. But for me, I cannot understand his language as I can easily understand Vivekananda much better or easier way. I may not be that intelligent, that's why I don't understand. But I am saying, for me, people like me will be more happy to hear, say, simple language of Raman Maharshi. You go. A simple language of Raman is not much complicated, but it will be simple because there is the experience of that person. So that attracted aim to come back again. Sri Ramakrishna was sitting on the small couch. The room was filled with devotees who had taken advantage of the holiday to come to see the Master. Abe had not yet become very acquainted with any of them, the devotees who are coming. So this is the third visit. So he took his seat in a corner. The Master smiled as he talked with the devotees. He addressed his words particularly to a young man of 19. His name was Narendranath, future Vivekananda, who was a college student and frequented the Sadharan Brahmo Samaj. His eyes were bright, his words were full of spirit, and he had the look of a lover of God. The Master's first impression about Naren is that 3 words are very powerful words. First of all, he said, his eyes were bright. You see, Vivekananda. Many people were attracted to Vivekananda for what? Many people say, what attracted the majority of the people? They say, eyes. Like a big eye, an all-engulfing eye, you know. And then second point, he says that his words are full of spirit. What he speaks with so much emphasis that everyone will think that is the only truth. That's why if Swami Vivekananda says something, you will all say yes, 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 yes. That's why it gets confusion also. Who was that who said that to Thakur's disciples? Naren says one thing in the morning, one thing, and I think that is the truth. And then again in the evening he says something else, and that is the truth. I get confused. So Jogin Maharaj says, you go to Mother. for simplicity, go to Mother. Because whatever Swamiji says with heart and soul, emphasizing so much, knowing that you will feel that is the only truth. He has the force, he has the power behind that every word he speaks. That's why after He's passing away even. You read, Swami Vivekananda says, who will read this letter, he will feel my energy. There are many letters you read. Such a fiery letter, it energizes your own sleeping soul, as it were. That is the power. That is the second point. And he had a look of a lover of a God. He does not understand anything but God. That is the uniqueness, purity of the soul, of purity of Narendra. So the three things attracted M's attention. M, the writer of the gospel, this gospel, he himself, guessed that the conversation was about worldly people who look down on those who aspire to spiritual things. Spiritual aspirants are being criticized by whom? By worldly people. Because they think many people who are spiritual, if you become spiritual, then you will be criticized by your friends who are very familiar with them. They will criticize you, oh, you have become very spiritual. When we started some Gita class in urban area, and I used to go to that group, to one house this week, another 1 month here, 1 month there, 1 month, rotating. And as they started joining that Gita group, and many of them came to complain that, Maharaj, we are being very severely criticized. I mean, why? Well, oh, you are becoming spiritual. You don't come to our party. Weekend party. They're missing the weekend party. I said that, why don't you say it is a Gita party? That's also a party. But people will not like it, relish it. Those who are very steeped into the worldliness, they don't appreciate one's spiritual sadhana or engrossment. As the similar will be the condition, a spiritual person will not relish the company of the people whose mindset is different. Always it happens, no? What is called? A smoker finds friendship with another smoker, no? Ramakrishna said. And they need not have to know where do you come from, what is your name. They have a smoke past and then talk. That is their connection. So God is like that. If God is like that, you talk about God, I talk about God. But that's my friendship. You don't need to know what is your name, where. Many things happen like that. In Indian tradition, you'll be surprised to have that. Shankaracharya, when he was completed his writing the Bhasya or commentary on the Brahma Sutras. So he was pleased. And suddenly one day one gentleman appeared, an old man, and just appeared and said, I have some question about your commentaries. And he started arguing with him, debate. And debate went on. But no one asked her, who are you, where do you come from? No introduction. I come and challenge you, hey, I contradict your views. Well, okay, sit, what is the problem? Now you go on having debate. One day it went on, and debate went to a very fine and critical point when ordinary intellectual people who were there, they could not understand. And second day it was much tougher and finer interaction going on. Shankara gives some argument, that old guy gives some another argument. It continued. Third day, then his disciple, Shankara's disciple said, Sir, why not ask who is this guy? See, after 3 days severe interaction about the topic, spiritual topic, not knowing who are you, who am I? What type of acquaintance is this? That is the lovers of God do. They don't want to know what is your name, where is your home. Those are secondary. You love God, I love God. Finish. That's our friendship. And then that story ends with that. Then he asked the next day, who are you? And then Vyasadeva, the Bhagavan Vyasa appeared there, and I was testing you, that whether your argument is correct or not. That's why I wrote these verses with this meaning hidden meaning in this way as you have interpreted. Because there are many interpretations of Vasudev's Vasa Sutras. So Vasa himself acknowledged that it is right. You have understood me rightly, expressed it rightly. But my point is that what I wanted to emphasize, that is Indian style. You need not have to know who are you. My PhD degree is this, I come from this university, this is my bio, and you come from here, then we'll meet together and that is the topic of this. Nothing. Just coming anywhere and challenging another scholar. And said, okay, let us go on 5. And then after 5 days, you know, who are you? Where are you? So that is the truth is important. That's why here this conversation is going on that worldly people will like worldly people. That means worldly does not mean whoever in the world is worldly. No. Those who have tremendous attachment for money and lust and greed and all these things, they are called the worldly. We all belong to the world, no? We are all worldly. But not in that sense. Who are steeped into their more attachment and identification with the world and worldliness, that is the idea that they don't like holy people, spiritual people. And spiritual people also, if they go there, they don't feel comfort with them. So, she says, it is about worldly people. Ramakrishna, Narendra was talking about, the master was talking about a great number of such people in the world and about how to deal with them. So, Narendra is putting question and master is responding. So, master says, how do you feel about it? Worldly people say all kinds of things about spiritually minded. But look here, when an elephant moves along the street, any number of curs and other small animals may bark and cry after it, but the elephant does not even look back at them. If people speak ill of you, what will you think of them? So, because Narendra was very straightforward, he will speak what is the truth in front of everyone, with voice, with argument and strong. But that's why Sri Ramakrishna says, how do you feel about it? What is it? Worldly people say all kinds of things about the spiritually minded people. Ramakrishna, the Calcutta Babus used to come to Ramakrishna and seeing his behavior, they used to term him as a crazy guy, Dakshineshwar's crazy guy, Pagla Baun, the crazy Brahmin priest of Dakshineshwar. So people will talk ill about it. Then what will you think? He's talking about Narendra, that how will you look upon them? And he gave the example like when the big elephant moves in the street, no? Spiritual giant, spiritual people should move like that. And there will be some will be like when an elephant moves along the street, any number of curs and other small animals may bark and cry after it. Even a small frog, be proud of his 1 penny. And the elephant went on, not carrying the money. And he said, what? And he's kicking, as it were, the elephant. But elephant does care about that. So spiritual minded person, this is an indication also what future Vivekananda, how much criticism Vivekananda had to bear with. If you read the life, then you will be surprised. But he lived like an elephant, giant spiritual personality, moving around, not caring for who criticized. In the newspaper, his character was assassinated and all types of blames have been given. But he stood in his own dignity. And that's the power of the spiritual personality. So he says, you be like that. That is the indication. Be like an elephant. Don't have to pay attention to what people say about you. Narendra says, I shall think that dogs are barking at me. If someone criticizes me, I'll say that they are dogs. Ramakrishna said, no. Oh no, you must not go that far, my child. God dwells in all beings, but you may be intimate only with good people. You cannot embrace the tiger on that account, no? You must keep away from the evil-minded. God is even in the tiger, but you cannot embrace the tiger on that account. You may say, why run away from a tiger, which is also a manifestation of God? The answer to that is that those who tell you to run away are also manifestations of God, and why should not you listen to them? So if God is everywhere, so you should listen to the holy people. Why not listen to them? And then let me tell a story. Ramakrishna was unique in that to impress in our mind, he's telling some story. He's telling that story, you have heard it, but let me read it. Let me tell you a story. In a forest there lived a holy man who had many disciples. One day he taught his disciples to see God in all beings, and knowing this, to bow low before them all. So that was the lesson. A disciple went to the forest to gather woods for the sacrificial fire. Suddenly he heard an outcry, "Get out of the way, a mad elephant is coming." All but the disciple of the holy man took to their heels. The disciple reasoned that the elephant was also God in another form. Then why should I run away? He stood still and bowed before the animal and began to sing its praise. The mouth of the elephant was shouting, "Run away, run away!" But the disciple did not move. Then the animal seized him with his trunk and cast him to one side and went on his way. Hurt and bruised, the disciple lay unconscious on the ground. Hearing what had happened, his teacher and his brother disciples came to him and carried him to the hermitage. With the help of some medicine, he soon regained consciousness. Someone asked him, "You knew the elephant was coming. Why did not you have leave the place?" But he said, "Our teacher has told us that God himself has taken all these forms of animals as well as men. Therefore, thinking it was only the elephant God that was coming, I did not run away." At this, the teacher said, "Yes, my child, it is true that elephant God was coming, but the Mahut God forbade you to stay there. Since all are manifestations of God, why did you not hear? Trust the Mahut God's words. You should have heeded the words of the Mahut God." So this is the point to understand. God is in everything, but you should respect everyone and thinking that God is in everyone. But for that reason you should not go and hug the tiger. "Oh, tiger, I hug you." Then he will swallow you. But you can show your respect if you go to what you call a zoo. They are in the distance, they cannot hurt you. So you can say, "Oh, tiger, I love you." That can be done. So in a bad people, tiger like bad people, you should not go and hug them. You said, "Hello, how are you? Thank you, thank you." You respect them. But you should not be so much close to them that they will devour you. They will take away your noble qualities, they will demean you. So be careful. That God is everywhere does not mean that everyone is the same. Treatment of everyone will not be same, because there is a quality of life in mind is coming. Everyone is the same reality covered by mind. One is tamasa mind, one is rajasa mind, one is sattvika mind, pure mind, impure mind. No? As the mind is pure, there love, compassion, holiness manifest more. When there is a rajas quality, ego, pride, haughtiness comes forward. When there is tamas covering of the mind, then meanness, vulgarity, brutality, all these demonic characters will be manifested. So we should respect everyone, but be careful how to mix with. This is giving a practical illustration. This Narendra will be the future world teacher, no? So how the training is going on, how to be in the world, we sometimes make a mistake. It is called you should not make everything equal. Equal in the sense, in spiritual sense, everything is equal. In spirit, we are all Brahman. But in manifestation, I have one way of thinking, talking, and living. You have another way of thinking, talking, because of your mind, because of your understanding, because of your background you are raised. But how to interact with it? Love everyone, respect everyone. But you have to know, God is everywhere, but everyone is not aware that there is God. Who is aware of God? That's a different person. There we call the holy people, those who are aware of God, like Ramana Maharshi. Like you go to Ramakrishna, Christ, Buddhas, they are realized soul. And these people are different. And then these people will be of the same similar nature everywhere in the world. Ramakrishna said all the jackals howl the same way, because they talk same way. Christ, Buddha, Jesus, and all these holy people, Krishna, Rama, Chaitanya, all the saints, they talk in the same way. But you should not mix up equally that a saint and a devil are all the same. No, there is no devil. Vedanta does not believe in devil. Devil is the darker part of the covering of the mind. So he says, it is said in the scriptures that water is a form of God, but some water is fit to be used for worship, some water for washing the face, some is fit to be used in the worship, and some only washing the plates and dirty linen. So he says, therefore, in like manner, God undoubtedly dwells in the hearts of all, holy and unholy, righteous and unrighteous. But a man should not have dealing with unholy, the wicked, the impure. He must not be intimate with them. With some of them he may exchange words, but with others he should not go even that far. He should keep aloof from such a people. So this is very practical illustration for devotees, all the devotees of the world. Your companion, there is a proverb, no? What is the proverb? A person is known by the companion he or she keeps, no? How is that boy? What is his friends like? His friends are very talented, intelligent people. Oh, they're all friends. He is also be of that nature, no? Someone is athlete, their athlete friends will be athlete, no? So, a bad association, one goes to the, say, gangs, the gang boys, whatever may be the reason, they fall into the trap and go into that. When you know who, one boy was here, he had ill luck that he had fallen into the gang group in the early days of his growth. And his father wanted to bring him out of that. So much trouble he took and brought him here, out of that own place where he was entangled into that gang group. And then tried to give here, our Swami gave the mantra to him, and I saw him. Association changed so much. He used to sit here in the early morning, chant the Naradiya Sukta, Narayan Sukta, all this Sanskrit high chanting and Vedic chanting he is doing with or Chidekananda, that time Deepak Maharaj. And he was continuing that, no? So that association forced him to do something which he don't want to do, but he was in that group, you get into that flow and you lose yourself, no? And this place, when he came, he got another association. This is also association. And this association changed his life. But again, Swamiji also passed away. His father was not attentive, and he was here. We didn't know where he's going. So he used to go out. We are little liberal here. For the sadhus, brahmacharis, we should be more strict. But that boy, he used to go out. We didn't know. And he found another gangpig group. And they have a link here and there. I do not know, these are all. And actually, he was again trapped into that gang. And was in the drug. And into the bad thing. And he died. So, see, the association. That's why association is very important. Holy association. Ramakrishna in the whole gospel, he says always, sadhu sangha means holy association. You go to a holy man, talk about God, and refresh your mind and put your mind in the holy vibration. So that is very important in the growth period. When you are a matured soul, you have all experience, then it matters little where you are, you will be winning, no? Swami Vivekananda was walking in the street of Cairo, and he forgot about time, space, etc. And she was surrounded by some Western or American ladies, and suddenly they felt that they went into a wrong place. And these girls are calling Swami Vivekananda in a very half-naked dress and this and that. And the ladies were embarrassed. They didn't know that why they have come walking this way. And then what happened? Then Swami Vivekananda went straight to those ladies, and tears rolled down Vivekananda's cheeks. And he said, they are all divine. They do not know their own inward divinity. And they have pulled them down to what a level. And what he felt, that was so transformational. These ladies started touching the gown and kneeling down like as if Christ has come before them. There's a spiritual person, strong spiritual personality can overpower your condition. But we are all weak. At the very beginning stage, if you go to show that your pride like that, you will be sucked into that atmosphere. Therefore, Ramakrishna always said, Sadhu Sangha, holy company, holy company. Sadhu Sangha, nirjanvas. Go to the holy company, go to isolation and call upon God, forgetting your worldly duties and responsibilities. And Narada Sutra says, Sadhu Sangha, dussanga, sarvathaiva tajya. Bad association, evil association, negative thoughts. How we like gossip, no? There is a gossip magazine, no? What is the name? It's still there? You don't know the gossip magazine? My name came into that once. What is the name of the magazine? Young people should know. Huh? Yeah. Very famous name, bolo. Huh? Anyhow, now you understand. But that magazine is popular because it is gossip. In life also, I always say, gossip is like chutney. Do you know what he did? If God goes away, that inspiration comes to listen more and add more to that, to make it spicy. Make it more spicy. If you hear anybody's scandal or anything, no, it may be true or untrue. My God, how people get fascinated in that. Anything happens. Oh, is it? I heard that. What you see? Yes, I saw that. I don't see God. That time they are not inspiration. That's why Narada says, Dussango, bad association. That means where your mind does not get spiritual inspiration. Dussango, sarvathayevo, all the time, in all possible means, to be avoided. Not to hate them. You are not to criticize, you are not to hate. That's not your business. Your business is to protect yourself. Protect your spiritual tree, the plant which is growing. When you become a big tree, then what will happen? An elephant can be tied with the tree. That normally people keep. But when it is tender, you will have to keep paints it. That is the association. Wrong association should be avoided. And satsanga is always important. Holy company is always important. And contrary to that, asatsanga, avoid. So Sri Ramakrishna is saying, in life, this is to be done. When you are established in your spiritual path, don't listen to every criticism. Whatever the criticism says, let them do. There is a meaning also of criticism in a spiritual sense. There is one place, and Jivan Mukti Vivek, that book, here it says that if someone criticizes you, oh, what a great joy, because they are getting so much happy by criticizing you. To give joy to somebody, what you have to do? You have to take them to restaurant to feed some, or go for some visit for some nice place. Huh? But you are not paying any money, not doing anything, and seeing you, and they criticize. Wow, what a great joy. I am giving joy to these people. So they say, the statement is very important. They say, mat nindaya jodi lo janaha paritushati aho bhaggam. By criticizing me, by seeing bad in me, if one finds great joy, what a fortune for me. And I have spent nothing, I have done nothing, but he is still finding joy in seeing me. So let it be so. And another philosophy is there. If you criticize somebody, what you do? You take his bad things yourself. You are sucking from that person. Whatever bad, it is coming to you. And if you see good thing, the good quality is coming up on you. So that is the benefit. As you think, so you become a stone. We call Lord Shiva. Thinking it is Lord Shiva, Shiva is all auspiciousness, Shiva is all pure, Shiva is all Satchidananda, Shiva is Ananda. Thinking of Shiva, your mind becomes Shiva. No? And even if the holy man, you look that he is a bad guy, even in that person there is something bad, you are sucking that out. So it is your gain or your loss. Therefore, be careful what you do. So Sri Ramakrishna says that this God is everywhere, but you have to be careful. Where there is goodness, holiness, purity, love, that is the holy company. One should go and associate with that. And unholy, you should avoid. So when the elephant story, when the elephant is God, but is a mad elephant, and someone is telling, go away, it is a mad elephant. Run away. But he is also God. So why do you not take the wise suggestion and we are following the mad person's suggestion? No? Mad elephant. So it should be careful in the life, how to move in our life. This is a very great suggestion. We live with everyone. There is a statement, what is called, Tulsidas ji who said, सबसे बसिए सबसे रसिए सबसे लीजिए नाम हाँ जी करते रहिए बैठिए अपना ठाम हैं कार तुलसीदास so सबसे बसिए you be with, you sit with everyone, smile with everyone, सबसे बसिए सबसे रसिए, have fun, little smile, joy. सबसे लीजिए नाम. Someone says Krishna, Krishna. Okay, Krishna, Krishna. Rama, 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 Rama. Ma, Allah, Allah, Allah. Do that. But boitiye, sit and hang on to your own personality. Boitiye apna tham, meaning your own place, your own way of thinking, your own way of spirituality. Hold on to that. Don't lose that grip. But you have to live with everyone with dignity and respect, and giving dignity and respect to all. Even a bad guy, God is there. But he does not know, or he does not manifest that godly character. So I am not yet strong enough to handle that. I keep myself away. And there's nothing wrong. Everyone is not fit to go with everything. So therefore, that with some of them, we can exchange. Give the example, the water is water, but some water you can, you water, sprinkle the Ganga water. We feel I am becoming pure. That's the water. Some water you can drink. Some water you cannot drink, only you can wash your hand. Some water even you cannot do those things. You can use, not even touch that water. So everything is H2O, but associated with defiled things or is purer thing. Mind is that makes. So live in the world, live with everyone, but that is Swami Vivekananda's attention. But when you become spiritually giant, then you can consume so much. You can transform the people, other people also. So don't start at the beginning to transform others. Transform yourself first. Most of our ideas in America is that I will change the whole world. No, you cannot change the world. You become 82, 81, then you will find you will be changed. The world remains the same, only now you are to change. You have no power, you cannot do anything. All dependent on everyone's mercy now. So therefore, depend on God. A devotee then says, Sir, if a wicked man is about to do harm or actually does so, should we keep quiet then? Because God is everyone. So wicked person, when they come, so what shall we do if they want to do harm to us? Ramakrishna says, a man living in society should make a show of tamas to protect himself from evil-minded people. But he should not harm anybody in anticipation of harm likely to be done to him. So, suppose there are bad people. So you should not go and get the negativities from them. So you keep a separation, but you should not ignore them, you should not disregard them. So what to do? Ramakrishna's suggestion, a man living in a society should make a show of tamas. That means you are a good person, you should not do harm to anyone. But to protect, you have to say, hey, if you do so, I'll call police. Or if you do so, I go to court. You'll have to say, someone is taking advantage of your simplicity and trying to take away your money, your property, by many means, things happening in everyday life, no? So you have to hiss, not with anger or vengeance, but as if to protect yourself. It's all for protection. So, and then Ramakrishna always gives story. And there is, listen to a story. Now, what is the example how to do? That story of the snake probably will come. Some cowherd boys used to tend their cows in a meadow where a terrible poisonous snake lived. Everyone was on alert for fear of it. One day, a brahmachari was going along that meadow. The boys ran to him and said, Revered sir, please don't go that way. A venomous snake lives over there. Brahmachari then said, What of it, my good children? Said the brahmachari, I am not afraid of the snake. I know some mantras. So saying, that brahmachari continued on his way along the meadow. But the cowherd boys, being afraid, did not accompany him. In the meantime, the snake moved swiftly towards him with upraised hood. As soon as it came near, the brahmachari recited a mantra, and the snake lay at his feet like an earthworm. The brahmachari said, Look here, why do you go about doing harm? Come, I will give you a holy word, holy mantra. By repeating it, you will learn to love God. Ultimately, you will realize Him and so get rid of your violent nature. Saying this, the brahmachari taught the snake a holy word and initiated him into spiritual life. The snake bowed down before the teacher and said, Revered sir, how shall I practice spiritual discipline? He said, Repeat that sacred word, said the teacher, and do not harm to anybody. As he was about to depart, the brahmachari said, I shall see you again. And then some days passed, and the cowherd boys noticed that the snake would not bite. They threw stones at it. Still it showed no anger. It behaved as if it were in an earthworm. One day one of the boys came close to it, caught it by the tail, and wheeling it round and round, dashed it again and again on the ground and threw it away. The snake vomited blood and became unconscious. It was stunned. It could not move. So thinking it dead, the boys went their way. Late at night, the snake regained consciousness. Slowly and with great difficulty, it dragged itself into the hole. Its bones were broken, and it could scarcely move. Many days passed. The snake became a mere skeleton, covered with a skin. Now and then at night, it would come out in search of food. But fear of the boys, it would not leave its hole during the daytime. Since receiving the sacred word from the teacher, it had given up doing harm to others. It maintained its life on dirt, leaves, and the fruits that dropped from the trees. About a year later, the brahmachari came that way again and asked after the snake. The cowherd boys told him that it was dead, but he could not believe it. He knew that the snake would not die before attaining the fruit of the holy mantra with which he had been initiated. He found his way to the place and, searching here and there, called it by the name he had given to it. Hearing the teacher's voice, it came out of its hole and bowed before him with great reverence. How are you? Asked the brahmachari. I am well, sir, replied the snake. But the teacher asked, why are you so thin? The snake replied, revered sir, you ordered me not to harm anyone, so I have been living only on leaves and fruits. Perhaps that has made me thinner. The snake had developed the quality of sattva quality. It could not be angry with anyone. It had totally forgotten that the cowherd boys had almost killed it. The brahmachari said, it cannot be mere want of food that you have reduced to this state. There must be some other reason. Think a little. Then the snake remembered that the boys had dashed it against the ground. It said, yes, sir, revered sir, now I remember. The boys one day dashed me violently against the ground. They were ignorant, after all. They did not realize what a great change has come over my mind. How could they know I would not bite or harm them? Brahmachari exclaimed, what a shame! What a shame! You are such a fool. You don't know how to protect yourself. I asked you not to bite. I asked you not to bite, but I did not forbid you to hiss. You must have forgotten them. Why did you not scare them by hissing? So you must hiss at wicked people. You must frighten them lest they should do you harm, but never inject your venom into them. One must not injure others. So what a great story, no? The story of the snake. The Guru told, be good, don't do harm to anyone. You change your lifestyle. You were in bad association, or you used to put venom on others, your anger, your frustration. Don't do that. And he listened to that. And he obeyed his Guru's instruction, holy man's instruction. And he transformed gradually. But the boys didn't know. They thought the same snake. And then they dashed him to the ground and he almost died. And now Guru says, I asked you not to bite. Did I ask you not to hiss? When someone is coming to do harm, you should take your protection. You should also hiss. But not with any other motive but to protect yourself. So this should be the attitude how to live in the world. A very wise, practical suggestion. Many people think I am a lover of God, everything happening in God's will, and don't have to allow whatever atrocities come in one's life. We should try to make some ways and means to get out of it. But that doesn't mean that we should have to have a mean quality of a negative quality to gather in ourselves. So, in this creation, Ramakrishna said, when wicked people, there are wicked people, and you must frighten them, lest they should do you harm. But Vivekananda was separate. When he was in this country, he faced so much criticism. But he was a lion-like person. He didn't care about that, what the newspaper is saying. One newspaper says another way, another 5 newspapers says something good. So he didn't care about public opinion because he was such a powerful person, God. But ordinary people like us, we should have to protect ourselves, to have, so that no one can do harm and you can grow spiritually. In this creation of God, there is a variety of things, men, animal, trees, plants. Among the animals, some are good, some are bad. There are ferocious animals like tiger. Some trees bear fruit sweet as nectar, others bear fruit that is poisonous. Likewise, among human beings, there are the good and the wicked, the holy and the unholy. There are some who are devoted to God, others who are attached to the world. So you accept this variety. The world is a mixture of all these things. So you make your way out. If you feel that you are not satisfied with this, so you have to make your way out. Men may be divided into 4 classes. Those bound by the fetters of the world, seekers of liberation, the liberated and the ever free. So, Baddha, the fetters of world, who are bound in the world and worldliness, they cannot think of anything. Whole life they live, busy, only job, only money, only house, only duty, world. No chance of thinking, who am I, why am I here, what is the goal of life. They don't get any chance. Live like that. So that is one category. That's called Baddha. They are in bondage. Another is this, there are the fetters of world. Second is the seekers of the liberation. We, who are trying to seek, where is freedom? Where is our liberation? To find, they are the category called seekers of liberation. And by this process, some holy people are there who have already liberated themselves by spiritual practice, meditation, holy company and all this. And they live in the world for the good of others. This type of people, like after realization, this type of people live in the world for the good of the world. Like Narada, his son Ramakrishna said, like Narada. Those in bondage are sunk in worldliness and forgetful of God. Not even by mistake do they think of God. If you talk about God, they will run away from that place. Many people used to go to Dakshineshwar, where Ramakrishna was there, and as they go and Ramakrishna talks about God, love for God like this, they are very uncomfortable. They 1 or 2 minutes they sit and then pushing the friend, hey, how long? Hey, let us go. So they cannot enjoy the holy company. So that is called the Baddha Jeev. The seekers after liberation want to free themselves from the attachment of the world. And some of them succeed and some are not. And the liberated soul, such as the sadhus, the mahatmas, holy people and great souls, are not entangled in the world, in the lust and greed. Their mind are free from worldliness. Besides, they always meditate on the lotus feet of God. So this is the point, 3 categories of people, Baddha, Mumukshu mukta. Baddha means bound, those who have no time of thinking about anything, only earn money, only eat, live and die. Ahara nidra maithunancha. Ahara is survive, eat, only eat to eat, you earn money. Earn money, work hard. Work hard to get good raise, good position, good money, bank balance, bank balance, bank balance. And you make a bank balance of 1 million, 2 million, 5 million or 1 billion and die. Billion will remain here, die. And now there are some people who are little advanced, they said, I have million, that what next? They said, okay, let me find some ways to get out. They are mumukshu, they are trying to get liberated. And among the trying people who are trying to liberate it, there are only few people get liberated. And they are the gem of the world. They give peace to us. They are saints. They are sin. They are all the holy people of the world who make the balance in the world, who gives the positive energy. Even we don't see them here before us, but their vibration, their holy thoughts help us to live our life. So we end here. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Tat Sat Sri Ramakrishna Panamastu. If you have any question here, only questions are online, but there is no question here. If you have, why using Christian term? Could you please explain little what do you mean by using Christian term? What example I gave?
Maybe instead of sadhu you are using saint.
Oh, because we are speaking in America, sadhus may not be understood by many Americans. To make it more understandable, we should take the spirit. I am using the terminology, thinking that we could understand it much easily. You take don't take the language, but more of the views. What is the purpose of it? Purpose is that there is everywhere holy, unholy people are there. So how to live in the world? It is same in India, same in Pakistan, same in Afghanistan. Some are more dirty people, some are powerful dirty people. That's why good people have no voice. Somewhere good people are more, dirty people cannot raise their head. That's it. That means holy, unholy everywhere. So we have to how to survive and keep our spirituality intact. That is the point. Anything? Yes.
Is God everything? Is God love too?
Of course. What is the question of love? God is everywhere. Only one God is everywhere. That means He is the reality. You and me are only reflections. Sun is only one sun. Have you seen in the grass in the early morning, dew drops? Everywhere, every grass holding one dewdrop, no? And when the sun shines, everywhere there is a reflection of the sun. So you, me and all are reflections of the tiny grass reflection. Sun is sun all the time. Sun loves equally. Sun does not make a distinction, I will give light to you and not to him. Sun does not make that is a temple, I will give more light, and that is a tree, I will give less light. Sun does not make a discrimination, the birds are flying, I will give less to them. But you see, they are not shining. So sun is God. It's love. Another name of God is love, L-O-V-E, nothing else. Yes.
Swamiji, does a seeker, will they stay a seeker for the rest of their life, or are they able to, is there potential for enlightenment?
When you seek for anything, suppose I am seeking for a job, shall I be a seeker of job whole life? Or I'll get it? Yes, intensity. I seek the job here, I fail it, job there, apply there, apply there, apply there, somewhat, some will come out. Similarly in spiritual life, seeking for God, then you go. How to seek God? There is a process to find God. So you go to a teacher, find a teacher who can really expert in this field or who are practicing, they know, they have achieved something themselves, they can guide us. And then you intensify your spiritual practice. Dive deep, dive deep, dive deep. They are saying, Ramakrishna says, he has realized God in every aspect. But when he got it, he was mad for God. He forgot the world. He forgot his eating. He forgot his family. He forgot everything. Whole day little worship he used to do Mother Kali's temple. Any gap, he will go into the forest, nearby forest. Panchavati they call. And there he will go and meditate and meditate sometimes most of the meditation, Ma, Ma, Ma here. And also crying and Ma, another day is gone. He was mad guy. That's why the local people used to call mad Ramakrishna. Lunatic Ramakrishna. Because he does not behave like us. He does not eat like us. He forgets his eating. He forgets his sleep. Day and night, the whole day, whole night, meditating, praying, crying, weeping. So he got it. If we are as much intense we are, so much quicker will be the success. We will not be remaining a seeker all life. We will go back to our home. Not dead, but while living. That's called Jivan Mukta. Jivan means while you are in breathing, Mukta, you will be free soul. That's called the saints. We can be saints here and now, depending on our sincerity and earnestness. Seeking, how earnestly we seek for. Ramakrishna gave the example that seeker of God is like that. His student came to the teacher and said, Sir, when shall I realize God? That's okay, let us go. And he took the disciple to a lake and asked him to take a dip. And as his head was down under the water, a guru pushed his head into the water for longer period. And he is trying to come out, but guru is putting him under the water. And it went on for some time, and then he released him. And then the guru asked, what are you feeling so long? Oh, I was almost dying for oxygen, no? But breath. When that type of restlessness will come, you will realize God. Ramakrishna's example are very simple, very practical. How earnest we are. Our Patanjali suggestion, very important. This practice is to be done with love, you get a mantra. You have to do that practice with love and care, as if it is you are releasing some good food, thinking of God, feeling His presence, repeating the holy mantra, resonating in your heart. You are becoming tuned to the God consciousness, no? You love more. So, it should be done with love. And dirgha kala, for a long time. Don't expect that it will realize, when I shall realize God, tomorrow, no? Or 6 months. There is no course like that. I do not know how much garbage is in my mind. I have to clean those garbage. Then you will see God. There is a say, here there may be one gold underground. It's covered with so much dust and dirt. You clean. If you clean continuously, you will reach the gold quickly. So cleaning is the question, not finding gold. Gold is already there. Only cleaning process is our spiritual life. How quickly we can clean those anger, frustration, ego, pride, all the malices, all the negative qualities of life, and cultivating what is good quality that we talked about. Well, holiness, love, joy, blessings, peace, contentment, harmony, all these noble qualities will develop, and the gold is shining, gold will come out. So it says, dirgha kala nainantarja satkara, continuously repeating God's name for a long time with love and affection. Dirgha kala nainantarja satkara. Then this condition, this experience will be firm grounded. And also another verse is Satu Tibra Sangvedanam Asanna, who has the tremendous, Tibra means intense, Sangbeg means desire, Beg means this force, tremendous force of the heart, running for, I want God, I don't want anything. Like the children throw away all their toys when they want mother. No? So that intensity comes. Ramakrishna said, God is in your hand. When God will come, when your tears roll down in your cheeks, in calling upon God's name, God is, yes, very close to you, coming, coming, coming. Another question, is it always best to be in solitude when one has to be part of the world? No. Solitude means you have to segregate from the world. You may not be able to go to Himalayas for solitude, but you can be in your home. Make a corner of your home where you enter and you think, I don't think of anything but God here. You go to a park and sit in one place isolated and think, this is the place, I'll think of God or something in my own way, meditate or sit or whatever. So finding a solitude means go away from the chattering of life. Chatter. And what we are chattering all the time? Worldly talk. Worldly meaningless talk. We actually, if we have some censor, how much chattering we do whole day, how much useful word we say, how much worthless thing we say, proportionately it is a very bad proportion. Meaningful word, how many meaningful words we talk from morning till now, which is spiritually beneficial, which is good for the world. That's why one sadhu was of our order was then in Trabuco. He used to say, before you say, think, don't talk, stop your talk. Is it useful? Is it meaningful? Will it bring good to others? Think all these thoughts, then say a word. Then you see chattering will stop. And if the chattering outside stops, then you can chatter inside by God's name. So this is the suggestion, okay? So when has to be part of the world, we go to solitude means every day meditation is a solitude. Our day-to-day life, simple formula, we are in our day-to-day life in this situation. You have your job, you have other things. Make a time in the morning, make a time in the evening, or before going to bed, sometime you and God. That is the solitude. And if you can really move to certain place and you have the opportunity and think of God intensely, that we call retreat. That is also good. People can go to that retreat and think of God. That means get out of the hustle and bustle of life and be totally with God sometime. Uma, shall we start? It is already 10 minutes over. Ramakrishna said, when you get closer to the ocean, the sound of wave gets louder. When you get closer to enlightenment, does desire and the sweetness increase? Desire for God will increase, of course. As Ramakrishna gave the example, we are away from the ocean, no? Now if we go walk to Santa Monica, and then we go to the beach, you see the rambling of the sound starts there. You go more and more and more, then you know. The sound increases means you are hearing God's voice, you are feeling God's presence, cool breeze is touching you. So yes, that will be, and then your life will be sweetened. Your life will be life of desire for God will increase more. Because your goal is to reach your own home. So that is the home where peace, joy, sweetness, love is manifesting. So as we move towards God, our character will change, sweetness will come, criticism will be lessened, loving people will be there, even with their faults. They will be able to have a different attitude towards them. And you will be benefited, and the people who come in your proximity, they will be benefited. And God's presence can be felt as we become pure. Pure means bereft of all negativities, not thinking that more me and mine, thinking of you and you, thee and thine, that idea. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Peace, peace, peace. Tomorrow, Swami,
Vivekananda will talk about
Mahajogananda.
Swami Vivekananda
Okay. Probably that is the Khandana, Naki. What is that?
I can't remember if he finished
He said he was going to try and finish it, the Khandana tomorrow.
Achha. Anyhow, Swami Mahajogananda will be giving the class tomorrow at 7:30. Please come, who you can. If not, online also. Thank you. Jai Ma, Jai Ma. Today is a full moon night.
Yeah.
It's called Lakshmi Puja. Mother Lakshmi. In Hindu idea, Mother Lakshmi brings all auspiciousness as also wealth. Both material wealth and spiritual wealth also.
But she will grant only if you are up all night.
Oh, up all night.
Yeah.
And that means you call upon her all night.